I get on this, I would say 6-7 foot ladder, and I go up about halfway. I'm not even close to the top of that sign. Look at these roots over here. These roots are almost as tall. I would probably say taller than me. And so we got a closer look at this plane crash. Let's take a look right here. You can see it is very bad. The owner of this home says he was holding on for dear life when the tornado roared through. But it's not just this house. Many of the buildings on this block are dealing with the effects of the tornado's winds, including this one right here. It was right above he and his wife's heads while they were in bed. They then start smaller fires along the edge that burn in specific directions until they light more and more fires. If you are in evacuation zone A, you have to get out. Some of the books, like The Bluest Eye, have been banned in Pinellas County, while others, like To Kill a Mockingbird, have faced challenges across the state and country. So they bought in because of the sense of peace and quiet, but they say with this development next door, that calm is basically gone. And you can still see the wreckage the mortar left behind right there, burn marks and mulch everywhere. There we go. You hear that, Melissa? I am a natural at pickleball. We have probably about 5 minutes or so until these guys, I think, are gonna start racing with us. You can smell the bacon in the air here. It is gonna be a tasty treat for the folks here. I wanna show you the food that they have set up. The owner of this home says he was holding on for dear life when the tornado roared through. But it's not just this house. Many of the buildings on this block are dealing with the effects of the tornado's winds.
I was standing here, right here, trying to get the dogs into the tub when the roof lifted off. That's when Anthony Gannon said he dove behind his couch for cover during the EF2 tornado in Crystal River. It was just wild. It was a scary 20 seconds. And I would tell anybody going forward, you get that alarm on your phone, take it serious, because it saved their life. The devastating storm comes weeks after he said Hurricane Idalia's waters surged into their house. I'll deal with flooding. You can flood, listen, you can flood this 12 feet, but I don't ever want to deal with a tornado again. But he's got help dealing with the cleanup. Anthony's friend and coworker, Ed Neptune, has been at the house for 2 days now.
I knew they needed help. This isn't my first tornado I've been through, so it's a lot. I know it's overwhelming, and I just wanted to be here for him.
Ed said he would help Anthony rebuild when the time came.
And I hope that if the day ever comes when I need it, I know they'll be there for me.
And Anthony said he and his family are resilient, and he does plan to rebuild with a little help from his friends.
It gives me goosebumps and gets me emotional to think about how awesome those people are.
Anthony said he already spoke with his insurance, who he said told him the house was a total loss. He also warned people, if you get a tornado alert on your phone, take cover. He wrote that he felt he was being used as a patsy and that things were not as they seem. What we know, Cynthia Wood thought she was going on a date with Santini. She was found later strangled a few days later in a ditch in Riverview. A criminal justice expert I spoke with said he thinks this is all part of Santini's plan to change the public opinion. Before he was extradited to Hillsborough County as part of his arrest for the 1984 murder of Cynthia Wood, Donald Santini sent these letters to me from the San Diego County Jail. He was responding to my request for an interview. In the letters, he wrote, quote, "I've listened to my wife and granddaughter cry and scream with hurt, feeling that they may never see me again. I can hardly talk without crying." He went on to say, "My heart goes out to Cindy's family for all the pain, hurt, and loneliness they must be feeling for 40 years.
That letter is the first stage of his attack on the prosecution.
Joseph Sillo is an assistant professor of criminal justice at St. Leo University. We showed him the letter.
That's a letter trying to control how you think and what you think and how you view the case.
In his letter, Santini wrote that he feels he's being set up and needs a lawyer.
It's about, you don't understand. I'm really a victim here. You really don't understand. I'm not ever going to get a fair trial.
Sillo said any preserved DNA and fingerprint evidence will be crucial in this case, since witnesses may have forgotten or passed away, like those in a previous story from the News Channel 8 archives.
When he talked about violence and crime, he got an actual happy feeling out of it.
That includes the woman who found Cynthia's body.
I happened to look down and see the feet first, and then just looked up, and you could tell the body was bloated.
Despite everything in Santini's letters, Sillo said Santini can't change the fact that Cynthia was found strangled to death in a drainage ditch nearly 40 years ago.
This is not a man that doesn't have a plan, in my opinion.
And the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office said that it found Santini through what it called investigative means. It also said that it had sent investigation requests to California, Texas, even as far away as Thailand. If you'd like to read Santini's full letters to me, we've posted them in our article online at WFLA.com. We're seeing plenty of red all over the monitors here at Tampa International, leaving plenty of passengers, as you said, stranded overnight. But 4 strangers wanted to get home so bad, they hit the road.
We're stuck. Yes, we're stuck.
'Twas the nightmare before Christmas. Travel.
Horrible. This is my first Christmas that we've traveled. We've always had the kids come and visit us, so it won't be happening any. Next year, we're like, whatever.
While some are waiting it out overnight at the airport, a group of strangers went viral for taking matters into their own hands.
Whoa, my goodness. Whoa, it's cold out here.
When their flight from Tampa to Cleveland was canceled, Bridget, Abby, Greg, and Shobi packed it into a 2023 Kia Soul for 20 hours straight.
How do you feel this far in the drive? What's going on in your mind?
I don't even know, dude. I'm so sleep deprived.
It was cool. We had a lot of just different conversations. We listened to a lot of different music, a lot of Christmas stuff, just a whole mixture of stuff.
Of course, any road trip worth its salt has a soundtrack.
Country roads take me home to the place I belong.
All the while, Bridget Schuster was keeping her TikTok audience updated.
My favorite part was when I posted the TikToks, reading the comments out loud to everybody in the car. We were just dying laughing.
And as the odometer ticked up, so did the views.
North Carolina, almost to Virginia. The trip is still going on. It's getting a lot of views on TikTok. It's crazy. So I guess we're TikTok famous.
Instead of plugging in and tuning out, strangers became friends.
We shared a lot of things going on in our lives, and we had a lot of stories and shared similar interests. So we engaged with each other practically the whole time.
Love you, Greg.
Suddenly, all the Christmas songs made sense.
We were listening to Christmas music, and every single song was it just hit differently. Being in the scenario of this song's trying to talk about how you're trying to make it home for Christmas, and you're like, that's literally us.
And they kept documenting down to the final miles.
We have 20 minutes left in the drive.
I feel good. I feel ready to be back.
Wow. Really? You don't like it going?
I can't say I do.
She can't say she does. Thankfully, all 4 travelers did make it home safe and sound to Ohio yesterday. Unfortunately, the same can't be said for all the folks here still waiting on friends and family.